Dear children, today we will be discussing from chapter Keeping Diseases Away Only. Okay, this class is based on yesterday's Victor's class. I hope all of you have watched Victor's class. Okay, let us continue. We discussed in the last class also we discussed about bacterial diseases, leptospirosis. Okay, hope you remember the pathogen, mode of transmission, symptom, then the treatment and remedy of leptospirosis. Today we will continue with the bacterial disease only. I hope you remember the microorganisms, mainly bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa, etc. are the microorganisms which generally cause contagious disease or communicable diseases. Today we will be discussing on two bacterial diseases. One is diphtheria. You can see the screen. Diphtheria, see the pathogen. I told you in the previous class, whenever we learn about any disease, especially communicable disease or contagious disease, the headings to learn, the points to learn, one is pathogen, then mode of transmission, then symptom, then the preventive measure, then treatment. These are the things to learn. Let us see the points related to diphtheria. Name the pathogen. Name of the pathogen. It is a bacteria only. Corynebacterium diphtheriae. You should remember the name. The words are a little bit tough, but you should by heart it. Then, which are the body parts affected? Is mucous membrane of nose and the throat. In the nose there is mucous membrane and it is in the throat also. Mucous membrane of nose and throat are getting affected. Symptoms, lakshanangal: fever, throat pain, inflammation in the lymph gland of the throat. Then when it becomes severe, ash colored thick coating is formed in the throat. These are the main symptoms. Fever will be there, throat will be fever, pani, throat pain, tondavedana undaga. Then inflammation in the lymph gland of the throat. That we will not be able to view it ourselves. If a doctor checks, they can understand. Inflammation means neeruka in the lymph gland of the throat. Then when it becomes severe, ash colored thick coating is formed in the throat. You can see that. This is in the figure. Okay. And the swelling of the lymph gland is shown here. Inflammation in the lymph gland. These are the major symptoms. Then how the pathogen acts. Action of pathogen. Action of pathogen is given. Here the bacteria produce toxins. Generally, bacteria cause disease by producing toxin. Toxin means poison, visham. Okay. Whenever any bacteria enter in our body by different means, it produce, once it reach in the blood, it produce, or once it reach in the cell, it produce toxin. Then that toxin destroy the cell of the mucous membrane. Here also the pathogen destroys the cells of the mucous membrane. Here every bacteria having a target cell. It will be affecting different organs. It depends on the bacteria. Okay. Here the bacteria is affecting mucous membrane, especially in the nose and throat. Okay. Then The cells destroyed by the toxin produce ash color thick coating in the throat. The thick coating you can see here. Then gradually when it becomes severe, if it is not treated at the beginning, it affects heart, kidney also. Okay, gradually the brain, heart and kidney are also affected by diphtheria. Then the treatment. Let us see what are the treatment and preventive measure. Treatment is the unaffected cell can be protected by the use of antitoxins. Unaffected cells by taking antitoxins. Antitoxin means the one who can neutralize toxin produced by bacteria. Okay, this is one of the medicine given by doctors. Then the vaccination. There is vaccination for preventing this disease. Beforehand you can take vaccination. The name of the vaccine is DPT vaccine or pentavalent vaccine. DTP is diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. This is the vaccine. This is mainly used for 3 diseases. There is pentavalent vaccine also giving. That detail we will learn in the next chapter. Okay, pentavalent means 5 diseases. For 5 diseases this will be useful. All of us might have got this vaccine. That is why we are away from diphtheria. Okay, children's are giving diphtheria. You can go through the booklet giving from the medical centers or in the hospitals soon after the birth of child. There will be detail. If there is any child in your home, you go through that booklet given from the hospital. There it is mentioned different type of vaccines. Here the vaccine is DPT. Diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. Pertussis and tetanus also will be away from this vaccine. Okay, mainly mentioned for diphtheria. Okay, diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus. DPT vaccine is to prevent diphtheria. This is all about the diphtheria. Diphtheria pathogen is Corynebacterium diphtheria. Then how it is affected, how it is or how this is transmitted. This is transmitted through cough and sneeze or cough and sneeze of the patient. The patient cough and sneeze through air, it comes to the next one. This is the way of this is the mode of transmission. Then symptoms, I told you, fever, throat pain, inflammation in the lymph gland of the throat. Then when it becomes severe, ash colored thick coating in the throat. Okay, then the action of pathogen we discussed. Then the treatment is medicine is antitoxins. Okay, then preventive measure is mainly by giving vaccine. Then let us see another disease. And one more thing, diphtheria is a fatal disease, a dangerous disease. When the disease becomes severe and not treated well. Okay, hence prevention is better. Always don't forget to take DPT vaccine. Okay, let us see the next one. Next disease to discuss is tuberculosis, Kshayam. Okay, see the pathogen of tuberculosis. Pathogen of tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This is the name. Comparative study should be required. What is the pathogen of diphtheria? Diphtheria, it is Corynebacterium diphtheria. Here it is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Here the mode of transmission. The transmission is through air only. When the patient speaks, coughs or sneezes, the pathogen spread into air and it reaches the others. Okay. When the patient or the tuberculosis patient cough or sneeze, it will come out to the air, and from air it will move from one person to another. This is the mode of transmission. Pathogen, I told you, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Then the organs affected. It mainly affects lungs. It also affects brain, kidney, bones and joints. Okay, mainly it is affecting lungs. That is why the patients having cough, continuous cough, persistent cough will be there. Symptom: loss of body weight, fatigue എന്ന ക്ഷീണം, persistent cough, continuous cough, ചുമയുണ്ടാകുക, തുടർച്ചയായി ചുമ. These are the main symptom of tuberculosis. Then mode of transmission I told you. Then treatment is by continuously by taking antibiotics we can prevent tuberculosis to an extent. Okay, but early treatment is required. Whenever a patient shows persistent cough, normally there will be cough. We take some cough syrup and the cough will be over. If it is not by we cannot treat by normal cough syrup or something, continuously it is coughing, means you should go for a tuberculosis test. Okay, by blood test we can identify Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Loss of weight, മെലിഞ്ഞു പോവുക. Then fatigue, always fatigue, ക്ഷീണം, തുടർച്ചയായി ക്ഷീണം ഉണ്ടാകുക. അപ്പോൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? Go for test. Then here also there is vaccination. Tuberculosis, there is vaccination. This is a preventive measure. BCG vaccine, Bacillus calmette-guerin, is the vaccine for tuberculosis. Okay, these are the main points to study on tuberculosis. Then when we talk about tuberculosis, there is DOTS. Treatment method is DOTS. Directly observe treatment, short course. Go through the detail of this. It is the treatment given by government. Okay, treatment given by World Health or proposed by World Health Organization. Whole world this is following. The name of the treatment method is DOTS. This is an extra information. Then there is program in our country, National Tuberculosis Prevention Program. Always in radios, TVs, etc. you can see advertisement regarding this. Okay, World's Tuberculosis Day is celebrated on March 24. Tuberculosis Prevention Program started in 1962. Then National Tuberculosis Control Program was started in 1997, RNTCP. Then different programs are there carrying by state government and central government to prevent this disease for an extent. Okay, mainly as I told you, the pathogen, mode of transmission, symptom, then treatment and preventive measures of tuberculosis. You have to learn about all these points. Okay, then one more point they discussed in the vectors, that is viral disease. Next we are going to learn about different type of viral disease. Before that, as an introduction, virus. What is this virus? Virus is just an organism. It is having just a protein coat and DNA or RNA. Some virus having DNA, some are having RNA. RNA virus is there, DNA virus, nothing else. No cell organelle. The peculiar to this virus is that once the virus reach in an host cell, the cell of an organism, then only it develops or then only it can exist. Here, this is such an organism. The way of making disease is that virus, once it is enter in the body of an organism, in the host cell, it will destroy the genetic mechanism of the host cell. If it reaches in the cell, genetic mechanism is in the nucleus. it will destroy the DNA and RNA of host cell. Then thus the cell will be getting destroyed. In case of bacteria, bacteria produce toxin. Bacteria create disease by producing toxin. Virus destroy the genetic mechanism of host cell. This is a comparative study. How virus make disease and how bacteria make disease. Bacteria produce toxin and create disease. Virus destroy the genetic mechanism of the host cell and create disease. See, a virus is a DNA or an RNA molecule with a protein code. That's all. You can see this. It will be somewhat like this. Okay, you may be familiar with coronavirus. All of you know virus. We are in threat of coronavirus. The shape of corona will be different, designed by scientists. This is generally a virus. No cell organelle. Then I told you how it multiplies. This virus multiply by taking control of genetic mechanism of host cell. Once it enter in the body, it multiplies by using the genetic mechanism of host cell. Then virus affect not only human being, it affects plants, other animals, and even other bacteria also get affected by virus. Here we are just discussed the beginning of virus or general introduction of virus. We will learn in detail of viral diseases in the next class. Okay, make note of tuberculosis and diphtheria. Make a table. There should be a heading like pathogen, mode of transmission, then symptom of the disease, preventive measures. These are the 4 points to put it in that table. This is the assignment. Okay. Anyway, we will continue in the next class. Thank you for listening. Bye.